What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Errol "the True" Spence. According to Derek James, his trainer, Derek James states that why should we give Terence Crawford a shot at our title when he hasn't deserved it, when he doesn't create revenue? Why should we give him a shot? Why should we give him the fourth option on ESPN when he's not even reviewed by his own network as one of the top fighters? I'm not taking away from his skill set, but I am questioning his ability to sell. So why should we give him the opportunity? Said Errol Spence trainer Derek James. Now, okay. This statement by Derek James, I know he is automatically biased. I understand that, coming from Errol Spence's side corner. But I don't know where he gets his information from. I know the ESPN rankings, they don't have Terence Crawford. He is number 4, which you have to question ESPN and why did they rate certain fighters, for certain reasons. But that's only one network, But it is a shame that ESPN would make that type of ranking based on, I think it was Errol Spence number 2, I believe, and Terence Crawford number 3 or 4. Because it's been a while since I've seen that ranking list. But that's only one network's opinion, and someone made that list. However, you have other lists. You have the Ring Magazine. You have the Pound for Pound. You have other lists that makes Terence Crawford number 1 or number 2, and Errol Spence being 5 or 6 or 7 on that list. Okay, so it really is a fact of opinion on who you think is better pound for pound. And let's talk about credibility, meaning marketability, okay? He's saying, what has Terence Crawford does? He doesn't sell tickets. Okay. Errol Spence, look at his own fighter. Errol Spence was in front of 47,000 people in this state that we're in. This is Texas. That's where I'm at right now. And he was guaranteed, him and Mikey Garcia, $8 million apiece. And the pay-per-view buys were 360,000. That is not really good. And that's how they had to make a certain amount to cover their purses. I get that. But 360,000 pay-per-view buys isn't a big deal. Okay? And that's his first pay-per-view event, mind you. Terence Crawford has already been in, 2? Right? And his thing is, I know his skill set, but why should we give him an opportunity? You want to be tested the best. He's talking about, we have Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman, and who else? Who else did he mention? I know that he's fighting Sean Porter. But then I'm like, first of all, this motherfucker ain't gonna get a Pacquiao fight. He didn't even get a Keith Thurman fight. Okay? And Danny Garcia, okay, that'll be a good fight, but it's like, would you rate Danny Garcia over fucking Terence Crawford? And I see what this is. This is the reverse psychology, the reverse role. A lot of times people, they attempt to do that. They pretend they're something that they're not. They switch it around. The reverse psychology. Why should we give them a shot? Like you're already speaking as though you're the A side because of what? Because if you fought a smaller fucking fighter coming up over 2 weight classes and you needed his name to boost your profile, right? And you couldn't even knock this motherfucker out. At first he said he tried to knock him out. Second, he said, I carried him. So we don't know which one he really did. However, He needed somebody from a smaller weight class to fight because he claims nobody else wanted to fight him. The person that made this side of the street, he created that term. Errol Spence did. And he created that term because he knew he did not want to fight Terence Crawford. Why? For one, his advisor, Al Heyman, would not allow it because Al Heyman is not an idiot. Al Heyman knows that's a bad business move for his fighter. Because if he merges with ESPN to make a fight with Terence Crawford, and they guarantee the same amount of money, that $8 million for Terence Crawford and for Errol Spence, right? And he loses, they got a belt taken, and that checkmate for ESPN and Top Rank, okay? That is Terence Crawford's promotional company. And Al Heyman is not in the business of losing money or credibility. He'd rather keep his fighters on an island fighting each other, fighting old-ass Manny Pacquiao, which Pacquiao is smart enough to know, I'm not fighting you motherfuckers. You're not worth me fighting. You're a high-risk, low-reward. And he is. Errol Spence has not fought anyone yet except Kell Brook. Okay? Now, he can talk about Errol Spence, he can talk about Timothy Bradley ducking him, but Timothy Bradley fought the dude and beat the dude that he's trying to fight, which is the old dude, Manny Pacquiao. So make that make sense. Let's stop pretending like these motherfuckers are doing something. He beats Kell Brook. Kell Brook moves up in weight. Kell Brook beats Shawn Porter. That's the only person he beat. He went up in weight, got his face broke by fucking Kell Brook, came back down and got the rest of his face broken, or got really that fracture was already injured. When if you know anything about bones, okay, and his face was already broken, Errol Spence just added insult to injury. Because it used to be the narrative, Golovkin broke one side, Errol Spence broke the other side. It doesn't work like that with your skull, because your skull is one fucking bone, people. Okay, so if you get your bone, your orbital bone broken, okay, your skull broken, it's still broken. Didn't have time to heal anyway. Then he went right back in there and took 2 losses back to back. So where is his credibility? You know, his glorified loss to Golovkin. Okay, well, he didn't have any business up there anyway. He should have fought Amir Khan, or he should have fought someone that could fight. He should have fought Shawn Porter again. Shawn Porter wanted that rematch. He refused to give it to him. Okay, so the thing is, since he beats Kell Brook, he feels that, and then little ass Mikey, knowing damn well Mikey's not a welterweight. You know, and people are still trying to give this motherfucker credit for beating up on a little dude. You know, and his last fight was against what? Robert Easter? Robert Easter's 135 pounds. So you go from 135 to 147, beat this guy up and claim victory over that and claim dominance? Claiming A-side and all that shit? And then your trainer has the nerve to say, what makes Terence Crawford feel he needs a shot? You know what that is? That's fear. Counterpunch. That's fear. Okay? That they're avoiding that fight. They don't want that fight. Again, they're hoping and praying for Terence Crawford's downfall. They hoping that one of his mandatories knocks him out. Who does he got to fight? He ain't fought nobody. He got to fight you, but you ain't trying to fight him. Either you or your janky ass advisor or your funky ass trainer. None of them motherfuckers want a piece of Terence Crawford, because what'll happen, Terence Crawford's smart and he's showing his dominance. He will go in there, and in the second half of that fight, he's going to see what Errol Spence has, and it ain't much. He's a simple, basic fighter. He's just very aggressive. That's what I'm telling people. He's an aggressive southpaw that likes to work the body. Okay? When he finds out that shit ain't going to work against Terence Crawford, it's going to be over. But they know that. Okay? The art of war. If a fight can't be won, don't fight it. And that's what they're doing. They're creating excuses and why that fight shouldn't happen. Why should it happen? We're questioning the credibility of even having a fight with Terence Crawford, knowing damn well that's the fight that should happen. 2 people in their prime, 2 fighters in their prime. 1 pound for pound the best, the other one just the best in his weight class. Or is that really his weight class? You know what I'm saying? So let's not even open them can of worms. But anyway, it seems to me like now there was avoidance of the WBO even being recognized. The side of the street, of course, was already established as a roadblock. Now the trainer of Errol Spence is now saying, making another excuse, why should we give him an opportunity, like he's begging for that. Terence Crawford don't need fucking Errol Spence. Terence Crawford has wiped out 2 fucking weight classes, 2 Ring Magazine belts, a partridge in a pear tree, beat the guy that beat Pacquiao, and that's a guy you're trying to fight, and that's your almighty? That's your go-to? Please. Look. My Counterpunch is over, guys. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.